Hi guys, it's Sultana. How's everyone doing? Good, 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 I hope. So something weird happened. I got a day off. I don't even know how it happened. I don't know who arranged that, but I have some time. So I wanted to do my Lush perfume collection video. This is for all the Lush fans that watch my videos. Recently, my Lush perfume collection has grown significantly, and I currently own more perfumes from Lush than any other company in my collection. I have 17 of them, so buckle your seatbelts. So I'm here to show you them all, give you a brief overview of them, give you my opinions, and I'm gonna start straight away with the Florence exclusive perfumes. There's 5 of them. They're the newest things to land and kind of be rolled out to other parts of the world. At the moment, I think they're in the US. You can buy them online for a limited time, they say, in 30 mils. But if you go to any of the big, I think they call them the anchor stores, like the flagship ones, the big ones like Liverpool, Birmingham, Oxford Street in England, you can get the big bottles there. Anywhere they have a perfume library. So I was gifted all of these, and so I need to say thank you so much to Sue. I'm hoping she watches this. I love you. She's just been incredibly kind to me recently and treated me to so many nice Lushy things. I'll post some links at the end of the video to other Lush things I've been doing. But for now, I'm just gonna start with the Florence exclusives. Last year, Lush opened a perfume-only shop in Florence, dedicated solely to perfume, and there were 5 perfumes made for that store, which you can now get in other places. I think they're launching in Asia soon as well. So, these perfumes are made, they're organic, they are made, they're cruelty-free, they're vegan-friendly, they're even made with organic ethanol. They're made with ethanol that's made from beetroots. Strange. Anyway, I'm going to go through the first 5 from least favourite to favourite. So the first one is called Fresh As. This one is my personal least favourite from the line. This one is about pine forests. And if you don't know much about Lush perfumes, they don't really have extensive note lists, or they don't reveal extensive note lists. They only tell you a couple of things. So this one is Fir Needle Absolute Benzoin and Tagetes. I used to call it Tagettes, but it's Tagetes, which is marigold. So this is supposed to be a fresh perfume. It's meant to be about walking in woodlands. That's not what I get from it though, and you're probably gonna hear some strange opinions of mine, but hey, that's what I do. I'm a reviewer. So Fresh As. This one, to me, smells not particularly fresh. I'm going to spray as many of them as I can on cards. This actually, to me, smells like coriander seeds. And I don't know why. It's got... I make curry a lot. I make curry from scratch. I have a whole cupboard full of spices. And when I grind coriander seeds, there's this kind of bitter, dry feeling to this perfume. And I wouldn't... If I didn't know what was in there, I wouldn't necessarily pin it to pine at all. So it's dry, it's bitter, it's kind of cold smelling, and it doesn't really smell like what they say, but that's good. I like being surprised. Oh, I should mention, all of these perfumes are made by a lady called Emma Dick. It's the first time they've used a female perfumer, I believe, or an outside perfumer, or a perfumer that isn't one of the owners. So these are like a new take, and a couple of them, particularly the last 2 I'll show you in this mini collection, are quite a departure from the signature Lush style, which is really cool. They're trying to kind of branch out and do something different. So Fresh As is my least favourite. I don't know why. It's not horrible or anything. It's just, it's that coriander seed thing that I can't really get away from. So that's the first one in the bunch. How should we do this, guys? Should we do it like this? There you go. Let me just turn this light up a little bit. There you go. So the next one is called Nero, and this one is, Nero is a play on a word. It's short for neroli, and as you can guess, that's what this perfume's about. They also say it comes from one of 2 stories. I think it was a famous king or something that used to be called, let me just have a quick look. Wait, just don't go anywhere, wait there. So they say it's inspired by the name Neroli. One theory suggests it arose from Emperor Nero, an avid perfume fragrant flower enthusiast. Another one, it stemmed from a much loved French noblewoman, a princess of Nerola, renowned for adorning her signature gloves and bathwater with uplifting neroli oil. So this is neroli, petitgrain and bergamot, and I can tell you that the main star of the show of this perfume isn't actually neroli at all. It's the petitgrain I smell the most, or petit grain if you want to nitpick and make me pronounce it properly. So petit grain is the twigs and leaves of the orange tree. The orange tree gives you 4 things. It's a very forgiving and abundant tree. It gives you orange, it gives you petitgrain, and it gives you the flowers, but in 2 different ways. Neroli is the steam distilled extraction of the oil, and then orange blossom is usually solvent extracted. They smell very different. Neroli's fresher, it's greener, it's crisper, it's sharper, but this one's about petitgrain, and petitgrain to me is a woody smell. Of course, it's about the twigs. It's very dry, and sometimes I get hints of kind of like a camphorous lavender type smell from things that contain petitgrain, and that's the main focus of this one. So that's Nero. So moving on to the next one. I recently went to the Lush spa in Oxford Street and had the most amazing treatment ever. It's a new one that they do. It's a perfume incorporated treatment. I'll tell you about it a little bit because it's really cool, and the next perfume is the one that was incorporated into my treatment when I went. So it's a Renaissance inspired treatment. Very soft touches, beautiful like choral music plays, hot stone foot massage, and what they do is you have a little consultation at the beginning, and it's all based on this theory that I can't really explain, but anyway, you end up getting a perfume tailored to you, that you pick one from a bunch that they have based on how you feel and things like that, and then they split the perfume up into base, heart and head notes, base, heart and top notes, sorry, and then they incorporate that into your treatment. So the base notes are sprinkled in a powder on the bed you lie on, I think. The foot massage has the heart notes incorporated into the massage bar. And at the end, they do this fantastic bubbly magical thing where they sprinkle like this mist of the top notes over you. It is amazing. I recommend it to anyone that's in the UK or has a Lush spa near them. So the perfume that I had was Frangipani, and this is medium favourite, that's why it's in the middle. The last 2 are my favourites. This one is lovely. It's a really soft floral. The opening part of it is the part I have to kind of get past because it's very almondy at first. There's a very distinct almond, kind of almost marzipan-y type smell. But once that goes, it makes way for very lush tropical florals. It's very soft and fuzzy and cozy. So I really like this. I want to wear this in summer. Let me just check the notes out because I'm not sure there's Frangipani in there. Frangipani being obviously a beautiful tropical flower. Oh, it does. So this is tuberose, Frangipani and Gaiac wood. No wonder I love it. I mean, tuberose, hello. Inspired by wildly sweet and spicy fragrance for perfuming gloves, originally created by the mythical Roman noble Marquis of Frangipani. So there's a lot of Italian stuff going on in here. Lavish sandalwood and scrumptiously nutty almond oil leans intoxicatingly into Frangipani florals before a Moorish and smoky Gaiac wood finish. So, I mean, you definitely get that almond feeling on this one, with this one. And tuberose being the diva that it is, I don't really feel that in this one. It's definitely more about a soft, sultry kind of floral smell, and I really like this one. So we have much to get through, so let me just continue. So now we're getting to my 2 favourites. The first one is Confetti, and I have the big one of this, which I'm very happy about. This is, when I smelled this one for the first time, this was when I really said, this feels like quite a departure from Lush's style. This one is called Confetti because it's in reference to the sugared almonds that you get at weddings. I think they're known as confetti. those things that are totally dated, and I'm never going to have them. If I ever get married, I'm never having those things. They're just so like 80s. But Confetti is great, and I want to show you this because the label, if you get the 100ml bottles of the Florence exclusives, you can't really see it on camera, but the label looks like it's kind of distressed. But when you look closer, it's actually an aerial view of a map of Florence, which I think is a really nice touch. I'm going to spray this one because I really like it. So this is unusual. I recently featured this in my coffee fragrance video, if you care to go and watch it. This is a really green perfume. I mean, it's green in colour anyway, but it's mainly centred around violet leaves, and they feel in here powdery and foresty. There's a coffee undertone to it, and it's really interesting. It's probably in my top 10 perfumes from Lush ever. I love the name as well. Who doesn't love a little bit of confetti, huh? So Confetti, let me have a look. It's roses and violet leaf and sandalwood. What else? I don't know. It's just interesting. It doesn't really feel very lushy, and that's not why I like it. I just like it because of its unusual, almost clash of a roasted coffee feeling in a forest. It's an unusual thing, but ultimately it's soft, powdery and green. Huge fan of this one. So that leads me on to the final one, which is my favourite, and I think this could be one of Lush's best ever perfumes. I'm just going to put that right out there. This is the one that I feel is getting a little bit of a buzz. When I've talked about this on my fragrance group on Facebook, people have been saying, oh, Sappho, what's it like? I want to know. So it's Sappho, named after an ancient poetess from Greece. She was supposedly LGBT. She lived in Lesbos, and I think the term lesbian comes from that or something. I read something about it. Anyway, this is really, really special. This is a huge vintage style perfume. It's the first time I've smelled a perfume from Lush that uses so much orris root. So this is leathery. It's got a little bit of skank going on. They don't list it, but I feel in here a kind of a vintage dark animalic musky type smell, and it's really, really cool. It's leathery. I think there's tobacco in here as well. I love this. This is so special, and it's my definite favourite from this bunch, and in my top 5 probably of all of the 17 I'm going to show you. So Sappho is great. It's rich, it's kind of heady, and look at the colour of this liquid. I mean, perfume that colour to me just, it speaks to me. You know there's something good going on when it's like that. So I really, really like Sappho. I think it's the standout from the Florence exclusives. And if you like your vintages, and especially if you like orris or iris when it's in a kind of leathery setting, this one will be for you. So I'm going to move on to my actual collection now. They're a real mixed bunch. Some of them are fragrances that are scented like products. Some of them are standalones, and some of them are revitalized or reissued ones from Lush's sister company, Be Never Too Busy to Be Beautiful, which no longer exists. Some of those are my favorites, so let's move on. So I'm just going to start grabbing them willy-nilly, and I'm going to try not to miss any, because every time I do a video like this, I tend to forget one. Not today, guys, not today. So the first one, this one is the monstrous perfume of Lush's collection. This is the vampiric, hell-bent on choking everyone out in the most fantastic way perfume, and it's the only one that I have in the old Gorilla packaging. It is Lust. If you don't know about this perfume and you haven't tried it, this can be a shocker. I would say it's probably the strongest perfume, not only of Lush's collection, but of my collection. It's one up there with some of the strongest stuff I've ever smelled. This is a bombastic, bloody red jasmine perfume. If you like jasmine, this could even be an overload for you. I mean, it's so intense. The perfume itself is a deep red colour. Let me just spray it. It's going to fill the room. I used to work in an office and I wore this one day. Let me tell you, big mistake. So this is a real dirty, kind of thick, carnal jasmine smell. It's one of the oldest ones, I think, as well. One of the older perfumes that comes from Lush, but I think it's still a fan favourite. This to me it's gothic and really heady and sweet, and it's just so powerful. I really struggle to wear this. I mean, finding an occasion to wear it. I think it's really good in winter because of its power, but you really get bang for your buck with this one. I mean, if you like strong things and you want to know that your perfume is going to last, Lust is a good first stop if you're venturing into Lush perfumes. But let me tell you, you got to like jasmine. So that's Lust. I'm going to be able to smell that all day now. This one lifts off of the blotter, just whoosh, like that. So that's Lust. Kind of in a similar theme, and it's the one I'm wearing today. The body mist all over me, and also lots of the perfume. I'm going to put some more on right now. Why not? This one is called Love. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, I think. So I really, really like this one. This perfume came from Be Never Too Busy to Be Beautiful. They used to sell little bubble bars of this in apple shapes, I think. This is so gorgeous. It's a big lemongrass I get from this. A lot of lemongrass at first. It's very spicy and it's appley. It's a little bit kind of enchanted forest feeling to me. Let me just look at the notes. I don't think they even list lemongrass in this one, but I will find out for you. Hold on a second. So it says spicy florals, playful citrus combined to create this flirty scent. Hints of sweet toffee apple, bergamot. A heart of sensual jasmine and warm cinnamon are sure to heat things up. So yeah, to me I wouldn't really say it's toffee apple. It's not a gourmand in any way, but it's definitely a spicy lemongrass thing with something appley going on. And it's just really fun. I just really like it. I actually want to get the big one of this because this is a staple. It's one that I wear quite a bit. You can see I've used most out of this one and I only got it recently. So that's Love. So it's a reissue of, I'm just going to call it Be Never because it's too long to say the entire thing all the time. That's a resurrected or passed over to Lush from Be Never. I don't know if anyone watching this has ever had the pleasure of going to a Be Never shop. They were absolutely beautiful. They were kind of boudoir-like, flowing curtains, chandeliers, loads of makeup mainly, but they had a small selection of perfumes and a lot of them are now in my collection because I guess it's a nostalgic thing. I used to work for Lush when these shops were about, so I'm kind of connected to them in a nostalgic way. So the next one is actually my partner's favourite, so this one will be going out of my collection. It is Pansy, and we actually have the body cream of this as well. This is the fragrance of the Olive Branch shower gel. If you're a fan of the Olive Branch, the one that was kind of orange, and if you shook it, it had a kind of creaminess that went through it. It's really white musky. It's a white musk perfume to me. So if you're into that clean laundry type sort of smell, Pansy's really pleasant, really easygoing, really friendly on the nose. It's really pleasant. I like this one a lot. Although I don't get to wear it much because someone else does. So let me just quickly read about this one. So Pansy. Oh, I should also mention, this is pretty much my dream Lush perfume collection. I have everything that I've wanted is now in my collection, so I don't need to have any more. Apart from one that doesn't exist yet. So Lush, if you're watching, the smell of Milky Bar Bubble Bath is my favourite Lush smell ever. Please make a perfume of it. I will buy lots, I promise. So Pansy is rosemary, orange blossom and galbanum and blackberry, they say. So I don't get really any of those things. Galbanum is a very green vegetal resin. I don't really get orange blossom from it. I really just get a lovely smooth white musk that feels... Actually, I kind of do smell orange blossom because it's got that almost honeyed green feeling that orange blossom gives you. So yeah, to me it's orange blossom and it's white musky. and Pansy is a really lovely one. And the name's cool too. So the next one is a really fun one. I was so pleased when they released this as a perfume. I got this very recently. They have a soap called Sultana of soap. And when I smelled this soap, I've had the soap quite a lot actually. It smells exactly like something from when I went to the Lake District when I was probably 17. Weirdly enough, I bought a soap in this shop that wasn't too dissimilar from Lush actually. They actually chopped the soap in the shop. I picked this one because of the way it looked, but it smelled like this, and I couldn't believe that when I tried Sultana of soap, it smelled like that soap. So this one I would buy in 500 milliliters if they did it. So this is it's a really tough one to describe. So it's fruity. Let me just have a quick look. I have to keep referencing things. Sorry, there's 17 perfumes here. So there's a lot to talk about. Let me just look at the notes. So they say, sweet but earthy fragrance to help you rule your kingdom with a clear head. So it says it has frankincense, bergamot, and that's all they tell you. That's all they say that's in there, and again, it doesn't smell anything like any of those. It's a smooth, fruity thing that I guess kind of feels like a slight departure from what a Sultana smells like. But it's not kind of date raisiny. It's not that type of thing. It's very tough to describe. I wish I could smell-o-vision this one through the camera to you guys, but I can't. So it's a fruity fragrance. It's fruity and feels a kind of light. I wish this one was a bit stronger because I want to kind of reek of this. It's that sort of smell that I want to just wear in abundance. But it's a tough one, but obviously if you've tried the soap of it, you'll know what it smells like. It's clean. It's like a clean fruity smell that's kind of nondescript. It doesn't fit anything berryish or strawberry or banana-y. It's just yum. I'm gonna have to leave it there because that's a tough one. So what's the next one? The next one's a little bugger. This little bugger, Icon. This one is parading around in someone else's clothes. I don't know how this happens, but this perfume is supposed to be an orange blossom perfume with myrrh and something else. Let me check. So this is Icon. It says, a rich and sophisticated perfume full of light and shade. Icon draws you in with a big hit of orange blossom and bergamot, but it's the rich, smoky myrrh and sandalwood that linger. So it says it has bergamot, tangerine, mandarin, myrrh and orange flower absolute. I don't know about that. This one is a conundrum. So this to me is an orange blossom, a rose perfume, sorry, parading as an orange blossom. To me, it couldn't be further from an orange blossom if it tried. This is rosy to my nose. This is like a Turkish delight, soft, fluffy rose with a slight resinous undertone. It's very, very sweet. Orange blossom is green and it's honeyed and just, it's really beautiful, and roses are too. I'm not saying this is not a good perfume. I absolutely love it. I actually wanted to have this in my collection, but this is essentially a jammy rose perfume to my nose. People might disagree, but this one, when I worked at Lush, they only sold 2 perfumes. They had Karma and they had Ginger, and I think this was a third one that was kind of there and not at certain times. And there were certain products that were scented with it. I think they had a bubble bar of it. Let me just readjust the way I'm sitting because I'm sitting on my foot and I'm just getting pins and needles. So Icon is very strong. It's very sweet. It's powdery. And yeah, it's a rose. So I don't know what's going on with this one. This one's having a little joke at our expense, I think. So let's move Icon over there. So the next one I absolutely love. I picked this when I went to the biggest Lush shop in the world. It's the one in Liverpool. It's gorgeous. It's huge. And Lush very kindly let me choose any perfume that I wanted from the perfume library. And if you know me at all, I am still searching for the perfect ylang. So I chose Death and Decay. I got the 100ml one. It's so cool. I've used quite a bit of that. This one is great. I mean, don't let the name put you off. What did the gentleman tell me at the shop now? Something about a funeral and the after party of a funeral, like the wake. This is lovely. This is another one which, let me spray it actually. This one I really lavish myself with a lot. I really like it. It's probably in my top 5 of Lush perfumes. This one has a slightly almondy feeling, not as much as Frangipani, but I feel like they're in the same family. Frangipani and Death and Decay are kind of related in the tonality and texture of how they behave. It's ylang ylang in this one, which is why I picked it. But when this one dries and the almondy part of it goes away, it actually kind of smells like lilacs to me. It smells like a purple floral. It's really fluffy. It's so nice. I might just spray this over the top of Love and just have a whole floral fest today. I mean, why not? It's my day off. I can do what I want, right? So yeah, don't let the name put you off. It says, step into the light. Heady jasmine and ylang ylang combine with sweet rose to form a bouquet that is overpowering at first and then comforting as it settles on the skin. That is exactly correct. I don't know if you noticed, but Lush tend to have a very distinct set of flowers that they use. They really favour rose, jasmine and orange blossom, and they seem to kind of switch them around in the formulas and somehow create these perfumes that smell very different from each other, which I think is pretty cool. But these, the Florence ones are definitely branching away from that, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, Death and Decay is lovely. It's a soft lilac-y ylang ylang smell that doesn't smell anything like a funeral or anything bad or death-like. So that's that one. I'm a huge fan and I'm so glad I have that one in my collection. Let's move on. So the next one is the iconic fragrance that Lush make. It's the signature scent. I feel like if you're a Lushie and you collect their perfumes, this one can not be in your collection. It is Karma. I think anyone that's a Lush fan will know what this smells like, what it does, how it behaves. This is the kind of hippy dippy one. It's patchouli, a pine, lemongrass and orange, and it's the smell of Lush. Every single time I smell this, no matter where I am, how long it's been, I'm always just transported back to when I worked there, and every time I smell Karma, it's a deep-seated memory for me, and I'm sure for most people. It's a really cool one. It's very strong, and it's about the 60s, you know, patchouli oil, all of that stuff. It's really great. I don't really know what to say about that one. I think it kind of speaks for itself. But if you haven't tried it, it feels a little bit head shoppy, citrus-like, and it's just really well blended. It's like its own thing. Nothing smells like this. No other perfume I've ever smelled smells like Karma. It's that distinct, and it's that, I guess, important to the Lush company that it's been going forever. When I worked at Lush, like I said, they only had Karma and Ginger as a perfume, and possibly Icon as well. But great. I mean, I won't dwell on that one too much because Karma. Gosh, so I just had a little break. I left the room and came back, and let me tell you, Icon on the blotter is, this whole space fills of Icon. Crazy. So the next one is another really popular fragrance. There's a lot of products scented with this one, and it's also top 5 for me. This one is American Cream. Here's me always saying, I don't wear gourmands, I can't wear vanilla, blah blah blah. Sometimes I tell fibs because this is actually a vanilla perfume. However, it's not a regular vanilla at all to me. This is it's kind of very silky smooth, fluffy vanilla that isn't like ice cream, or it's just not a regular vanilla. It's a very distinct smell, and I have the solid shower cream of this, the conditioner, the shower gel. I just love all of the things that are scented with American Cream. And I know one time they actually did a body lotion of this, and I was really kicking myself that I didn't get it, because I can imagine that it would be so nice. It's so comforting, cozy. It's like a hug perfume. I remember at Christmas they did a bath bomb called Twinkle once that was scented with that. It's just a really popular one, and I think it's another one where if you're a Lush person, you need that one in your collection as well. Anyway, gosh, yeah, they have a whole bunch of things scented with this. So it's vanilla, benzoin, and clary sage. It says, drop into our diner and order a splash of this delicious vanilla scent. Sweet vanilla absolute and benzoin resinoid create this creamy milkshake perfume. You won't be able to get enough of it. I truly believe that. It's really cool. It's one of those ones it's kind of subtle, and sometimes I feel like I can't smell it, but I know it's there, and then somebody will say, gosh, what are you wearing? It's like you smell like a cloud. So that's American Cream. The next one is another perfume that is a product scented perfume. There is a limited edition soap that comes out every Christmas, and it's called Snow Cake. I wanted this for the longest time. When I worked at Lush, they used to do a thing once a month where you could, they would vote, I think, on things that people wanted to be made into perfumes, and they came in these big 100ml bottles that I could never afford when I worked there, unfortunately. But now they have it again. This one is great. When I smell this, it's another one that just takes me back to when I worked there. It's essentially an almond kind of marzipan smell, but it's also very heavy on cinnamon. So it's a spicy, creamy, almondy smell that feels very gourmand without overstepping, without being too sweet. It's one that I really don't know when to wear, but Christmas, yes, of course, because it goes with the soap, but it's really strong. It's a powerful cinnamon perfume with a smooth marzipan-y almond smell as well. So that's Snow Cake, very distinctive, and the soap's really cool. It's kind of just a sheet of white with all of this glitter on top. I'm sure they change it all the time. I'm literally a retro Lush person. So there's 3 left. I almost went like that. 3, that would be dumb. So the next one is a confusing one to me. I kind of got this one confused with something else, but I have it anyway. It's called Be Scent, and this is another one that comes from the Be Never shop. It used to be called the full name of the shop, Be Never Too Busy to Be Beautiful. This is, if you had ever been there, this is basically what I remember the shop smelling like. It smelled like this perfume. However, when I got this recently, I thought that it was the one that had all the different types of honey in it. I think I was getting confused with a shower gel that they used to sell. So yeah, I got that totally wrong. Anyway, I can spray it and tell you what it smells like. It's still beautiful and it's still very nostalgic. I don't think I have a clean blotter. No, that's Icon again. Whew, Icon, it just permeates everything. This one here. So, Be Scent, I still really like. They say it's grapefruit, fennel, and jasmine. It says, sunlight dances across a meadow. Warming the earth, releasing delicate hints of jasmine and rose into the air, buds begin to bloom, attracting the gentle hum of bees, while fresh fennel and crisp grapefruit oils keep your day light and bright. See, can you see how the florals just get switched around? So again, it's a rose, it's a jasmine, which is in so many other things. This to me is a citrusy floral, which doesn't really feel like jasmine or rose. It's a bit of a tricky one. Even more so because, sorry, my hands are very hot and they're steaming up the bottles. Mainly because I expected honey, so it was just, oh, what's going on here? To me, this smells like the shop, and if you haven't been there, that doesn't really help you very much, but citrusy, floral, easygoing, a touch vintage, and kind of nondescript, but not in a bad way. I do really like it still. I guess I just thought it was something else, but I'm still glad to have it. It's a little bit orangey. It's like an orangey, gentle rose that they say there's greenery and clary sage. I don't really get that. This is the toughest one to describe out of the whole collection, along with that little one there, Sultana of Soap. So I'm going to leave it there. maybe read some reviews, because my one is not a very good review, and I apologise about that. So the second to last one is another one that used to be in Be Never, and it's called Two More Hearts. This used to just be called Two Hearts when it was at the Be Never shop, I believe. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. And the notes of this one are, let me have a look, rose, ylang ylang and jasmine. It's the same flowers again, yet this one does feel different again. I've been wearing this one quite a lot recently. You wouldn't tell from that, but I only got it less than a week ago and I've already used that much. I lavished myself with this one last night before I went to bed as well. This one has surprised me again and gone into my top 5. I knew that I liked it back in the day, but I forgot quite how much I liked it. This one doesn't really feel like any of those flowers again. This is kind of, I guess, the magic of the Lush perfumes. You can read it and go, oh, it's another rose jasmine or it's another orange blossom, but they all smell different. So, this one's creamy, fluffy, soft, somewhere in the realm of Frangipani again, somewhere in the realm of Death and Decay again. So this one is cozy. I've been wearing this one to bed and I don't know why, it just seems to fit that feeling. It's so much Be Never Too Busy Too Beautiful. Oh gosh, it's so nice. I can feel the rose in there. The rose, I guess, is the most prominent thing. It's that powdery sweetness that comes from Icon. It's that type of rose again, but it has a tiny spark of citrus and kind of the softness of Death and Decay. So it's like a sister to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It fits with these, I would say. And I'm going to leave that one there because that's another tough one. So I'm going to end on my favourite Lush perfume ever. Not forgetting Sappho, because like I said, I feel like this one is going up in the ranks. This is probably my second favourite now. So the last one on the list is another one that used to be in Be Never, and this is my favourite Lush perfume. It's called 1000 Kisses Deep. I also want to get the really big one of this because I know that I'm going to use this up really quickly. This one is really special. This one speaks to me because I really like Orientals, and it's the most Oriental feeling perfume out of any perfume I've smelled from Lush. Even though Icon kind of claims to be that sort of style, this is a citrusy Oriental. This one feels... I'm going to spray it because I absolutely adore this. Why didn't I buy the bigger bottle? Tom, you're so dumb. This one is... I think it's mandarin and orange. Let me just quickly look it up. It's mandarin labdanum resin, which is part of amber, and myrrh. So it's the most resinous perfume that I've smelled from Lush. It says, this fragrance has you at first breath with a spark of clean mandarin to lift your heart, followed by a deep and distinctive amber perfume that will hold your hand and never let go. So if you guys know me, you will probably realise why I like this one the most. It's very special. It doesn't smell like any of the others, like it's not even related to anything here. It feels exotic. I've never really smelled an Oriental that has that much citrus in it, which is why I find it very interesting. And I don't know, this one has something about it that I can't quite put my finger on, but it's definitely my number one little baby from Lush. I just moved them. I wanted it to have its own little moment in the spotlight there. Yay! 1000 Kisses Deep. I love the name as well. But yeah, if you like Orientals, none of these are Oriental. This one really is. And it doesn't really smell like labdanum. It just smells like a citrusy, kind of almost touching on incensey or kind of like joss stick type of smell to me. And I absolutely adore it. So I'm going to leave the video there because I might do another one today. I'm not sure. I have some time, so I might as well. But anyway, this is my Lush perfume collection. It's a bunch, isn't it? It's a whole lot. So I better get wearing them, really. I think I'm going to put more love on today and then maybe layer it with something else just for fun. So I hope you guys like this video. I'm Ouch110 and I'll post some links to some other Lushy things in the things at the end screen. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, enjoy your Sunday, guys, and I'll speak to you very soon.